As a professional educator and ATPE member, you probably know that the Texas Legislature, U.S. Congress, and other elected officials control most aspects of your profession and how you help students succeed. You vote in elections, you give to ATPE PAC, and you keep up with the developments on our Teach the Vote blog. But there is a way you can play a bigger role. ATPE's Advocacy Central makes it easy to be a grassroots advocate and hold your elected officials accountable. Let's dive into this members-only advocacy hub to find out how easy it is to engage. Advocacy Central is your one-stop shop for looking up your elected officials and influencing bills or policies that will affect public education at the state or federal level. With Advocacy Central, you can help advance ATPE's advocacy priorities, identify and contact your elected officials, look up bills that have been filed, and more. Advocacy Central is an ATPE membership benefit, so you'll need to log in to your ATPE account online to access it. If you are unable to log in, call ATPE Member Services at 800-777-2873 and they'll get you hooked up. Advocacy Central is housed in the Advocacy section of our website at atpe.org. You can also access it by typing atpe.org/advocacy-central in your web browser. If you are not already logged into the ATPE website when you arrive at Advocacy Central, you will be prompted to do so, and then boom, you're in. When you visit Advocacy Central, you'll see current advocacy messaging campaigns highlighted on this page. These calls to action relate to specific bills or policy matters in which you can make a difference with just a few clicks of a mouse. Here in the middle of the page, you will see graphics that represent the current spotlight topics. Below that is a list of all the advocacy campaigns separated into boxes. You can toggle this list to show only state or federal campaigns with these buttons right below the spotlight graphic. By default, all active campaigns, whether state or federal, will be displayed. Click the graphic or title of any campaign on this page to find out more information. You'll be able to read ATPE's stance on the issue and learn how you can influence the people who will be voting on the bill or deciding on the policy. Through each campaign, you can reach out to your officials to let them know how you feel about the issue and how you want them to vote. What if you aren't sure what to say? Most campaigns on Advocacy Central, such as this one, include sample messages that ATPE's lobbyists have prepared. You can opt to use those pre-written messages and scripts. You can customize them by adding your own remarks, or you can replace our sample text altogether and use your own language instead. Telling the lawmaker in your own words why you care about the issue or adding some local perspective on it can be very persuasive. But if you're short on time and just want to stick with our sample message, you can do that too. On the right side of your screen, you'll see the messaging options as well as the targeted recipients. ATPE will make sure the proper officials are chosen, such as state legislators, the governor, or even the commissioner of education. You can choose to write an email, tweet a message to the elected official on Twitter, or call the elected official's office to talk to someone on the phone. If it's your first time visiting Advocacy Central, you will be prompted to add your contact information to your profile before sending a message. Here's an example of an email message to legislators. There is a subject line, and then a field for the body of the message, which you can modify if you prefer. Make sure you proofread your message before sending it. You do not have to add your name within the message body because Advocacy Central will add that to your message automatically using your profile. For a tweet, Advocacy Central will automatically tag the elected official you are targeting if they are on Twitter. ATPE's sample tweets will include hashtags to make it more likely for your tweet to be noticed. You can modify the wording here, but we recommend using the sample tweets to ensure you won't exceed the character limit, including the legislator's Twitter handle that the system will add for you automatically. Many Advocacy Central campaigns will include a phone script in case you want to call the elected official but aren't sure what to say. Advocacy Central's switchboard will let you connect directly to the official's phone number. When you use Advocacy Central to send a message, it helps the ATPE lobby team fine-tune our strategies on an issue and identify strong advocates within our membership who can be resources on the issue. Right now, you might be thinking, my legislator is not going to pay attention to a form letter, especially if they've received the exact same message from hundreds of educators. It's true that a personalized message is better than a form letter, which is why we encourage you to modify these sample messages if you have time. But even if you stick to the sample message, it's a communication that a lawmaker cannot afford to ignore. Legislators often keep track of how many calls or messages they receive about a bill, both for and against. Even if you already know how your legislator is likely to vote on a given bill, it still helps to send those messages because someone on the other side of the issue is doing the same thing. Sometimes the number of messages received counts almost as much as the content. What if you want to communicate with your elected official on a topic unrelated to one of our advocacy campaigns? You can use Advocacy Central to send a message at any time on any topic. From the main Advocacy Central page, scroll down to the bottom right and look for the section that says Find Officials. Select the option for Elected Officials, enter your zip code, followed by your street address, and Advocacy Central will pull up a directory of your federal and state officials. If you check the box next to any office holder, you can scroll down and click the Compose Message button to reach out to them. You can also click on an official's name to pull up a wealth of information. First, you'll see all of their contact details, including address, phone number, and social media links. The next tab contains personal or background information. The Political tab shows how long they've held the office. And the Staff tab, as you might have guessed, lists the names of all their staffers. Here's another feature of Advocacy Central. On the main page, you'll see this Find Legislation tool over on the right-hand side. Type a keyword into the box, such as the word COVID, and you can search for all bills related to that keyword. The results include both state and federal legislation, and you can toggle between the two. Click on any bill listed to read it, see its author and co-sponsors, view the bill history, and find out where it sits in the legislative process, along with any upcoming scheduled hearings that will be listed here. ATPE will also be showcasing some high-profile bills and those that relate to our legislative priorities. From the main Advocacy Central page, you can find those by clicking this link that says View Key Legislation. You'll be able to read more about the bills, and if it is tied to an active messaging campaign, you'll see a link to that where you can take action. ATPE's Advocacy Central can also be accessed through a mobile app powered by Voter Voice. To install the free app, search for Voter Voice in the iTunes or Google Play App Store. After you download the app and verify your email, go to the Find Organization page on the app, type Association of Texas Professional Educators, click the ATPE name, and you've got instant access to the Advocacy Central mobile app. If you have trouble accessing Advocacy Central or have general questions about advocacy issues, please don't hesitate to contact the ATPE State Office or drop an email to government@atpe.org. Thank you for using your teacher voice in addition to ATPE's tools to advocate for public education.